Hello everyone, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today we're going to be doing a taroscope for the sign of Capricorn for the month of July 2021. And as I've done with the other signs, we're going to be using, first we're going to look at an oracle deck and get some, except one of my cards. Oh, there it goes, fell out. Oops. We'll be using an oracle deck. This is the Fairy Healing with the Fairies Oracle Card Deck by Doreen Virtue. And let's pick a couple of cards. Now, Capricorn is a sign that is associated or that is ruled by the planet Saturn. Saturn right now is in Aquarius. It was in Capricorn for almost 3 years and had moved into Aquarius at the end of last year. And then almost immediately made a conjunction to Jupiter and started a new sort of 20-year generational cycle at the first degree of Aquarius. Some people are calling it the birth of the Aquarian age. So Capricorn is generally a pretty serious sign. Capricorns tend to be born old, and as they get older, they start to get more and more in touch with their inner child. They become less serious and more like baby goats, you know, kind of running around. Well, maybe not running around. They tend to have pretty creaky knees, but certainly perhaps start to take life a little less seriously. And maybe start to have a little fun. So if you're one of those Capricorns, perhaps it's time for you to have a little fun. Now, of course, Saturn is part of the Saturn-Uranus square that's happening all year. And in July, we have first Mars activating the square, and then we have Venus activating the square, and then we have Mercury activating the square. All of those are going to be activating through the sign of Leo. So let's take a look and see. We have kindness. Look inside yourself. And romantic partner. Are you looking for a romantic partner? Would you like to be a romantic partner? These cards speak of gentleness, right? A gentleness. We have this fairy with a little bunny. In fact, as I walked out to have dinner tonight, there was a little bunny in the path. So there you go, Capricorn. Let me see what this says about this. Usually I can just like read them, but let's see what kindness says. Practice kindness in all your thoughts and deeds today, toward yourself, other people, animals, and the environment, and watch the rewards that come your way. It's very interesting because Capricorn understands the idea of rewards for work well done. Look inside yourself. See what it says about that. You've been trying to find satisfaction through outside sources such as material possessions or relationships. You are also looking for help from other people. The fairies ask you to look within for the answers you need. Look within for the answers you need. Your affirmation is, I have great beauty and light inside of me right now. I tap into all of the knowledge of the universe. It's true. Everything we seek without is within. It's one of the tenets of witchcraft, actually. That which you seek without, no, how does it go? That which you, anyway, I can't think of it. I know it's there. Romantic partner. A new romance is coming your way, either a new partner or a revival of passion in an existing relationship. will delight you now and in the near future. So that's nice. So look for the answers within, treat people with kindness, and that partner is going to show up for you. All right, so for the tarot reading, I am going to use Tarot of the Spirit, one of my favorite decks. This deck is by Pamela Eakins, and the art is done by her mother, who I can't remember her first name, unfortunately. But it's a great deck, and there's a great book that goes along with it, and it's got really a lot of good Kabbalah stuff in it. It's one of my favorite resources for tarot and the Kabbalah. Oops. Okay. So let's see what is up for Capricorn for the month of July. What does Capricorn need to be aware of, Spirit? What do we need to be aware of as Capricorns? So this is for Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising, or if you happen to have a chart with a lot of planets in the 10th house, which is the Capricorn house in a natural chart. And so when you have a lot of planets in that house, even if they're not in Capricorn, you still have that energy of Capricorn. That responsible, take charge, courageous energy of Capricorn. Wise and knows how to utilize people's talents for the good of the group, really. Okay, so let's see. We're going to just cut the cards here. Cut in the cards. Okay, so the immediate environment for Capricorn. The Nine of Earth. The Nine of Earth, called the Zenith. So we have a lot of prosperity here. A lot of prosperity. The Nine of Pentacles is really the self-made person. The self-made person. The person who is able to acquire because of their own diligent work. This card is associated actually with Virgo. And we know that Virgo is very much a workhorse, right? Very much a workhorse. And is always trying to better themselves or better the product that they're putting out. Let's see what is. So what is crossing that is the Mother of Water. So this is the Queen of Cups. And so there can be, while you may be financially very stable and very satisfied, it seems as though there is a lack, maybe a lack of nurturing in your life. One of the things that Capricorn tends to do is, because they're so responsible and they're so sort of into their work or into the project, or even feel responsible, like have a heavy load of responsibility, sometimes they ignore their feelings. And that can be disastrous, because when you ignore your feelings, you can actually get ill from it. So the challenge is to actually feel your feelings and to allow the time in your life for the feelings to have a space. Let's see what's okay. So at the root we have heartbreak. This is the Three of Wind here, which is usually associated with either heartbreak or a betrayal of some kind. Sometimes it's, you're in a relationship and a third party comes in and breaks up the relationship. But ultimately, this energy is to free you, And sometimes that third sword comes in to break a stalemate. So there could be it possibly, you're in a relationship with somebody that's not satisfying. They're not satisfying your needs. You're not satisfying their needs. But there's a situation where there's security sometimes, or it's like, you don't want to disrupt things, but then that third person comes in and sort of smashes everything to smithereens, freeing your energy. So it's not just about success. You have to also be happy, right? You also have to be happy. Let's see what's in the past. We have transformation and death in the past. So you have recently gone through a transformational experience. And of course, in 2020, we had Pluto-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn. We had Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn. We had the South Node in Capricorn. It was a Capricorn palooza. And there was a lot of change, and there was a lot of death. And so we're coming out of that. We're coming out of that with a new sense of responsibility. Perhaps the things that were happy, that made you happy before, life is short. You're like, you know what? So I have the best television or the most uh, updated car or whatever, whatever, or a beautiful house in the best neighborhood. But if you're working all the time to sustain that and you're not really getting to enjoy it, then what's the point? What's the point? In the sky, we have the Faith card. This is the Six of Water, or the Six of Cups. This is a happiness card. This is actually sometimes called the wedding card, or I call it the wedding card. It's a celebration of love, but it's also a celebration of family, and it is associated with children, and it's associated with nostalgia. So there is access to happy memories. This is a hard thing to go through. This is at the root. The recognition that something that perhaps you put a lot of energy into, it's time to let go, or it has been taken away from you in some way. But there is a renewal of faith and a renewal of hope available if you reach up to grab it. The immediate environment, we have the Father of Wind. The Father of Wind. The Father of Wind is the King of Swords. And the King of Swords makes a decision and sticks by that decision and brings the sword down, right? It's going to take some good judgment on your part. You're going to be, like, Father of Wind can be a challenging energy, can be legal stuff. But I feel as though if anybody can handle this energy, it's a Capricorn. Capricorns, they're not afraid of this. Some other signs might be a little like afraid of the Father of Wind, or the King of the King of Swords. But if you have lived an upright life, you don't really have much to worry about, and you just need to use some good judgment over this month. It requires you to be discerning. It requires you to really look at a situation and make a decision. How it's seen from the outside, that you're very courageous. Being a Capricorn is not easy, I'll tell you that. Having Saturn in Capricorn is not easy. I can tell you that because I have it. Domestic situation, the Three of Cups, lovely. So there's love. You are surrounded by love. If this was a marriage that got broken up, it doesn't mean that your family doesn't love you. It just means that there was something needed to change. And usually, with this card, something comes from the outside to change things. But you are surrounded by love, whether it's the love of your children or the love of your spouse. This could have been a business deal gone awry. Somebody you maybe trusted that you can no longer trust. And you might have to do some sort of legal wranglings. But you have the upper hand. You have the upper hand. You have the integrity. Hopes and fears. Yeah. Well, the Devil card is the Capricorn card. So the hope that you can free yourself. This can be depression. So free yourself from that. When you free yourself from the constraints of your responsibilities to having to always succeed or make more money or sort of run that rat race, if you can free yourself, then you're free. You're free. And one of the cures for this card is mirth. So laugh. Laugh a lot. Laugh aloud and laugh a lot. We have the Eight of Water here. This is turning your back on something that you've put a lot of energy towards because it is no longer spiritually fulfilling. So it looks like, Capricorn, you're having a bit of a spiritual awakening. and an awakening of your feeling nature, of coming to terms with the fact that while you may be successful, perhaps you're not so happy. And it's time to seek something that's going to feed your soul and not just your pocketbook. We'll just keep pulling. We have the Sister of Fire here. That's messages coming in. So new messages coming in. The Fear card. Do not fear. Do not fear it. The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. The Power Shield. This warns against, this is also kind of a fear card. Not so much in this deck, but in the other decks, the Eight of Swords is the woman who feels kind of tied up and unable to see where she's going. There's a whirlwind coming, and it's going to break this up. So the change is coming to break things away. So if you are feeling somewhat fearful, know that that something is coming through to sort of break that up and free you up in a way. And at the root we have, at the bottom of the pack, we have the One of Earth, the Ace of Pentacles. So new opportunities coming, new opportunities coming. So interesting read. One second. They have to come down Main Street, it seems, always. At least he was going slow. Usually they screw down the street, right? Which makes me nervous because you never know. Cat runs out. Poor Charlie. He's in the house, though. He's okay. All right. Well, interesting read. Interesting read. You may be in a place where you have to change. Things have changed around you, and you're going to have to go along with it. And it's sort of facing the unknown for you, and that can be a little scary. But know that on the other side of that are new opportunities to build things, and I feel as those new opportunities to build things have more connection to the earth itself, to the healing perhaps of the planet. There are a lot of really successful people out there who have worked really hard to be successful, and they get everything that they deserve from that. They work hard and they're rewarded. And sometimes that's good and that's fine. And sometimes it's not enough. And usually if it's not enough, it's because you're not connected to something higher than yourself. And that's when we can connect with spirit. That's when we can connect with the spirit of the earth. And you can utilize all of that talent and ability to bring peace and harmony, and for us to work in with a better relationship with the planet. There is a movie that I watched the other day called Reconnect, and I can't remember the guy's name, but I know Joe Dispenza was in it, and a couple of other people that you've probably heard of. So it's on YouTube, so if you want to check that out, Capricorns, I think you might. It's about this gentleman who goes on an ayahuasca journey and how it shifts him. And he's somebody who's very successful in the business world, and so how that had shifted him, and how it has, from what I can tell from the movie, sort of turned his attention, his success principles, in the direction of helping the earth. So that might be something you want to look into if you're in this place, or even you may want to look into it if you're not in this place, because I think it's a valuable tool, and a good movie, a lot of good information. So that's what I want to say. All right, guys, have yourself a great day. Like and subscribe. Have a great month. Do not fret, because new opportunities are just around the corner. And these opportunities are going to be much more spiritually satisfying than the success that you've had up to this point. All right, guys. Namaste. Much love. Love you guys. And I will see you again next month for the August Taroscope for Capricorn. Much love. Ciao.